Right. Well, so honorable mentions. What are some other technologies that we didn't make the top 7, but you want to at least give a shout out to?
I am really interested in resident transfer programs. We're seeing this again. I think it was inspired by the pandemic. We're seeing it a lot with a younger demographic, but this nomadic lifestyle, right? And you're seeing it with the Airbnbs coming into the multifamily space. But you know, setting up a transfer program to keep those renters within your brand and within
But
your
moving from
portfolio.
property to property.
Yeah.
Okay.
So normally they're signing a 1-year lease. If they're signing a shorter lease, they've paid a premium for that typically. But is there some room here to, do they pay, is it a one-time fee and they get into this membership club? I mean, I'm just making this up, but I think it would be fun. Or
Well,
is it?
No, I talked about this yesterday. So
Okay.
the company you want to look at, it's the Connect brand, KENECT or KT. They have a property in Nashville. They have a property in downtown Phoenix, and they've got plans. I think one in Miami and Denver. And it's exactly
Yeah.
this: is that they're looking at the rent more as a membership. And it's very easy to be able to transfer between properties.
Yeah.
It's targeted towards young, high-end professionals.
Oh, perfect. So I was thinking a subscription model like that. Is it something that you opt into when you first rent? And this is, again, an additional, it's an add-on that you can get if you want to, if you're thinking that you want to move or you might want to relocate and move around with jobs. Our team can work remotely. And a lot of our young teammates, they're literally working from Utah for a month and they're skiing and then they're somewhere else and they make it work and they're doing great work. So we don't see anything decline on that side of it, but I think there is a bigger conversation to be had there. And then also financial incentives with credit reporting. There's a lot of talk around this, just financial services today. So what part of that, comes in as a revenue enhancer for us? So just something that I'm noodling on.
Mm-hmm.
Any other ones you wanted to add to the mix?
Nothing too specific on technology, but another pretty popular other income that we like to add on is the patio charge. So whenever there is a patio on the first floor, especially if it's like a 2-3 story property, we usually charge a premium if they have a patio. So if the property, an existing property that doesn't have patio, we would actually install the patio so we can charge the patio fee.
So I've got as we kind of move from where we have currently, but we look at technology that's out on the horizon that maybe hasn't quite arrived in multifamily that can potentially bring in some more revenue. I'll pitch this question to Travis. As you look on the horizon, is there technology that hasn't reached multifam that you're looking forward to help drive revenue?
Can we say robots? I think that would be really cool, but no. I think multifamily or just the real estate in general, we have the technology available, but what we've learned is that, multifamily is slow to adapt. I think it was early 2000s, maybe late 1990s, that we had a revenue management system. And still to this day, we have folks that are just reluctant of adopting that revenue management systems. But I think we have the technology available. We've got people, you're able to do self-guided tours. And again, I think COVID taught us a lot of what we were missing out, and that we were missing, pieces of the puzzle. So the technology is available. It's just that adoption rate, for us to kind of lean forward and accept change.
Any other specific technologies on the horizon that you're looking forward to that you think can drive revenue?
I personally, it's not a new technology. We talked a little bit in the last session about video, but we are not exploiting it to the extent that it could help us both enhance our revenue by it can lease apartments for us, to Tyler's point about self-guided tours or virtual and video tours. 60% of renters want to tour that way, and yet we're not giving them the option to. But I think it also helps us on the other side of it saves our manpower. We're short-staffed. It can tour. It can help us on the maintenance side of things. It can help explain smart home technologies to people. So I think that's something that it's not new, but it absolutely is not being exploited the way that it should be.
Okay. Dana?
I mean, I feel like a lot of the apartments don't do too much social media, right? So that's just free marketing for them if they have a leasing team or a marketing team that really kind of like hits hard on the social media aspect to advertise kind of cool activities that's happening on their property. That's just going to help boost up a lot more interest in for prospective tenants to apply to at their property.
So maybe ChatGPT can help them write their
Right?
social posts
Uh-huh.
faster, and they'll be better at that.
Yeah, that's actually one thing is like I'm curious about how Chat GPT or even AI technology can transform like multifamily.
Yeah, the back to the social media, the Connect brand I was talking about, they do have, their on-site property managers. One of their tasks is very much associated with social media, having a dedicated, account on TikTok and Snap and Instagram for that property, and then running a lot of different promotions during the month for residents to share their experiences, because that becomes basically free marketing material for them to be able to show this is the lifestyle. Um, Again, studies have shown with Gen Z that they are much more likely to be influenced by that low cost, real video rather than really expensive, highly produced video. You wouldn't spend $20,000 to do this nice walkthrough.
Yes.
They would much rather, the vertical video of someone walking around. That's what they want,
Yeah.
and is more authentic to them. And then seeing what kind of parties are happening there, what is the lifestyle, the social climate, and that's what they're using for their decision-making process when choosing a place to live.
Yeah, there's a disconnect between what the renters want and then how our on-site teams want to operate, because they're afraid to get on camera. They're waiting for the good hair day and until they have the right outfit on, and that's not what the renter wants to see. And the renter doesn't want to see your fancy drone footage. I mean, that's what goes on the homepage of your website. But once they're connecting with that agent, they want to see this authentic person behind the camera. And I mean, I personally use it in my day-to-day, and it gets responses. People respond to that. I put a GIF in an email of me just waving hello, and people respond on average in 4 minutes. It's just, oh, I remember her. Yes, I need to get back with her. Or, you just feel a stronger connection to someone. So I think that we just have to bridge that gap between what renters are wanting and then what our teams have been traditionally trained to do. There's not training for this either. Our training departments and our job descriptions need to be updated for all of these skill sets that have come about, some pre-pandemic, but a lot post-pandemic.
So looking at our audience here, if I was to ask you, how many of you are aware of the social media app called Be Real? Okay, probably a little bit more of the younger generation is familiar with it. This is my teenagers, my college students use it. Essentially, multiple times during the day, it's going to give you a notification on your phone, and what you do, instead of you controlling and creating some type of content, you have like 60 seconds from when it randomly notifies you to take a photo of where you are, both sides. He's got his up right here. He just did his.
Awesome.
Where I'm showing what I see and what I look like, and then posting that. And there's this increased value with the current generation of the authenticity and trying to get away from, the social media that has been more prepared and more crafted.